Of course, Ben Shapiro is a complete joke, and this is not a claim that comes without any evidence or any merit of any sort. Now, I have already done actually a video. It was a video that I did sort of breaking down this video that he has of like 10 ways to debate liberals or something. It was kind of weird because it almost seemed like some kind of weird convention, but it's a speaking gig, of course. But, anyways. And in that little rant of his little spiel that he was giving about how to debate the left and debating the liberals, what he said he said that global warming or climate change is it's a plot by economic Marxists to level for the leveling of Western nations, which is a really insane comment that really goes to show you how much of a joke Ben Shapiro is, because the idea of calling all of the consensus of science, the actual real data, not scientists, not the consensus of scientists and what their beliefs are, but what the actual studies results are. There is a clear consensus that yes, man-made climate change is indeed actually occurring. And so when you act upon that evidence with the statement of, it's some, weapon of economic Marxists, not actually people who give a shit about the environment and want to preserve and protect the environment, it's, just a really fucking embarrassing thing, man. But here we have, more fines. He's already been found to actually have been a complete hypocrite on many different occasions. On one of the specific occasions, he had said that he basically criticized people, saying that Trump or sort of any other political figure essentially was being compared to Nazis or the Holocaust. And if you just go back and look at his tweets, he said that Obama's policies were Holocaust incentivizing, second Holocaust incentivizing. So he's already been exposed to be a hypocrite on that. Also, I know that Kyle Klinsky did a video talking about where he was just a complete. He went on defending Laura Ingraham from her advertisers being pulled, but if you go back, he was trying to get advertisers from being pulled from Al Sharpton's show. So clearly, he's just all over the place, hypocrite massively. But here we have a whole new slew. This is not necessarily a hypocrisy, but just an embarrassment. Sort of like the whole economic Marxist climate change theory. But there's so many fucking tweets where here's one of them. He says, Obama's Marxist philosophy on full display via HARF. All terror is caused by material lack rather than spiritual lack. It says, Obama, income inequality, the defining issue of our time, not poverty itself. Equality before prosperity for our Marxist president. He responded to SE Cup saying, pretty sure conservative criticism of Obama is that he's a hardline leftist ideologue implementing Marxist principles. He says, new piece at frontpagemag.com. Barack Obama's arrogant Marxist rhetoric. Another one says, Obama's Marxist rhetoric in the deficit speech is the true takeaway. He says Obama supports GZ Mosque not because he's Muslim, he's an atheist, but because he's a Marxist who believes the status quo must be destroyed. All right, let's talk about this, man. Let's really, really talk about this. First of all, he wanted to throw in the he's an atheist thing as a dig at him, I think. I think it's supposed to be like, oh, you're a heartless monster, you're like you're atheist, you're like Hitler is essentially what he wanted to do there. But the thing here is not only is it just a hilariously obtuse straw man to say that Obama was a Marxist, because clearly he wasn't a Marxist, and it's embarrassing to absolutely make that claim. But here's the thing, man. If you want to call someone a Marxist, why would you call Barack Obama a Marxist? On what planet Earth is Obama a Marxist? This is a guy who continued the Bush-era tax cuts. He had massive private sector gains under his presidency, and all of these different things. And here's the funniest part was, he says, but because he's a Marxist who believes status quo must be destroyed. If you think that the Obama presidency or even Obama's goal was to destroy the status quo, you might need to, I don't know, you might be high off of some crack cocaine, or you may be, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, you might be insane. But if you think that Barack Obama did not embrace and maintain the status quo, but instead wanted to end and destroy the status quo, you are hilarious. To be clear, he ran a campaign on abolishing the status quo and changing everything. But what happened when he got into office? He didn't change shit in the status quo. He got a healthcare plan that mandates that you get health insurance from private private insurance companies. Oh my God, such a Marxist. He's forcing you to purchase insurance from private companies. What a fucking Marxist. Oh my God. I don't even understand why you would, again, calling, really any of these mainstream Democrats, and this is something that gets a little bit deeper than this, but there was a video with Steven Crowder and Jordan Peterson, and Steven Crowder said that, not Kamala Harris, none of these people. He said Kamala Harris, maybe said Kirsten Gillibrand or some shit like that. And he said, tell me which one of these is not a radical leftist, which is, if you think that Kamala Harris, a corporate Democrat, is radical left, I don't even know where your Overton window is. I don't know if it fucking exists. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you have any basic understanding of any of this shit? So it's unbelievably hilarious. Also, here's another thing I want to throw in there too. Calling him a Marxist is funny because Marx said that, I believe he said that the proletariat should always be armed no matter what, and they should never give up their guns. So if your idea is that Obama, is at least in the most conservative position, wanted to enforce gun control further, it's hilarious that you would call him a Marxist anyways. But come on, man, this is so unbelievably unbearable. And this sort of just adds on to his comment of saying that climate change is a bullshit theory by economic Marxists to level these Western countries' economies in favor of these third world countries. It's unbelievable, and you can really check out that video. But if you honestly, the sad thing about this is that it's not as if he's not being treated by people as if he's being treated by people as a joke. It's not. That's not the case. It's pretty funny because all the more new media figures on the right, such as people sort of like Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens and people of that nature, they often you'll see them talk about, I've seen tweets they send out saying, a lot of you guys ask me, who are my favorite authors or philosophers or, all of this stuff, or classical liberals or whatever the fuck. And they'll cite people like Ben Shapiro or Dave Rubin or these other people, and it's hilarious to me because these people who are part of this, new media sphere of right-wingers actually take these people seriously. Now, it would be one thing if you're to take them seriously, maybe use their arguments or some shit like that, or reference them every once in a while, or reference them at all, really, and maybe even, consistently do it a lot. I don't know, but it's a whole nother thing. I think if you ask a lot of people on the left, like, who would be your favorite sort of philosophers or academics, a lot of them be like, oh, I like Noam Chomsky, Keynes, all this other stuff. It's hilarious that it has now the right wing, the new media sphere, maybe even people who are sort of an older media, I don't know. But let's, with the new media sphere, their versions essentially of people like Noam Chomsky have now become people like Ben Shapiro. And there was also something very funny that I saw, is that there are a lot of people in the conservative sphere who are trying to make it so that Ben Shapiro is essentially the heir to William F. Buckley. If you don't know who William F. Buckley is, he's considered to be like part of like the golden age of conservatism by a lot of people. He's also somebody that had a show, and he had debate with Noam Chomsky. I think there's a William F. Buckley Foundation as well. And despite, that seeming to be something that was said, I did see at least a little bit, I don't know how much it was, but there was at least a little bit of backlash from people saying, oh, come on, Ben Shapiro has no actual, similarities to Buckley. He's essentially just someone who's not very, thoughtful, and sort of just is this, let's debate and I'll ask you, why don't you want 100% tax rates? It's very, very embarrassing. And he's also a common user of the black and white fallacy, by the way. That's something that I've noticed as well. He does that a lot. He'll present situations as if there's only 2 or 3 options when there's way more, or more things can coexist at once. So It's this guy, honestly, if you take him seriously, I don't know why, and you can let me know, how can you overlook the fact that he's compared Obama to a Marxist, stated that, he stated criticism of people who were comparing anything Donald Trump does or any other politician to Nazis or Holocaust, when he said that Obama's policies were Holocaust incentivizing. And how could you sort of, get over the hill of him stating that climate change or global warming is this theory used by economic Marxists to level third world economies? So, this is just embarrassing, man. Come on.